This is Megan Luce, knee deep, and this is day 76 on the Continental Divide Trail. Yeah, let's do this. So if you saw Early Bird's video yesterday, you know that Energizer's phone broke. With it being 3 full days between then and encampment, for some reason, he gave the 3 of us, myself, Early Bird, and Mash, the go-ahead to take over filming. He should be getting a new phone back in encampment, so don't worry, you'll have Energizer back in a couple of days. So for today, we are making our way out of the Zirkle Wilderness. We'll kind of be descending down towards some rivers for a while this morning, and then kind of heading back up a bit. Special thing about today is that it is our last full day in the state of Colorado. So it'll be a chance to kind of just reflect and soak in all that Colorado has to offer. So some wildflowers, some rivers, some views, maybe even an afternoon thunderstorm. Should be a great day. That's where we came from yesterday. Going down and losing several thousand feet of elevation. We're dropping down to the Elk River this morning. We're now leaving the Zirkle Wilderness. Early Bird just made an arrow to make sure that we don't lose Energizer. Trash can and a privy. Always a nice sight to see.
Necessarily mean anything if they hadn't seen him, because we're only on it for a brief time, so unfortunately them not seeing him doesn't necessarily mean all that much.
We may have lost Energizer. So we think we did lose Energizer. There were some tricky junctions, and he may be about 4 miles away from us going the wrong direction, unfortunately. So we're sending some messages. We've got a beer here waiting for him, and we hope to see him in a couple of hours. So it turns out Energizer had taken the 3-island lake trail, gone about probably 4 miles off trail, so had about an 8-mile detour. Luckily, we were able to be in touch with him via the Garmin, and he figured it out via some paper maps, made his way back. We all got back on trail together about an hour ago and hoping to get some miles in this afternoon. So being our last full day in the state of Colorado, it felt like a good time to reflect. We've walked 720 miles between the New Mexico border and soon the Wyoming border. So I asked MASH, Early Bird, and Energizer to share a little bit about their highs and lows in the state of Colorado.
So my favorite day in Colorado was the day we passed Lake Ann Pass. It was a bit difficult, but just scary enough to have a bit of adrenaline, and glissading down was a lot of fun, so I really liked that part. The most difficult day, it was maybe Knife Edge, because going through Knife Edge is difficult on its own, but on this moment we had a really big thunderstorm with hail and lightnings, and it's really scary to have an ice axe and seeing lightnings around and with the winds, so we have to hurry. This part was scary enough and a bit difficult.
Oh, my favorite thing about Colorado was the traverse between Edwards Peak and Gray's Peak. It was pretty challenging and there was a fair amount of exposure, but it ended up being pretty fun, and we saw a lot of mountain goats along the way. And Gray's Peak is the tallest point on the CDT, so it was really fun to go over that mountain. My least favorite thing about Colorado, this was tricky, would probably have been the weather. It was definitely a challenge to each day negotiate afternoon thunderstorms, and the first half of Colorado, especially the southern San Juans, we had rain or hail and thunder and lightning pretty much every day. So just trying to navigate those factors and stay safe. Colorado is so beautiful, but avoiding thunder, avoiding lightning, I would say that was maybe the hardest thing about Colorado for me.
My favorite day in Colorado was doing the sunrise up on Mount Elbert. It's the highest peak in Colorado. It's not technically on the CDT, but Early Bird, Mash, and I hiked up, got up there right for sunrise and had the summit all to ourselves. It was beautiful and magical. So the most challenging part of Colorado, the snow in the southern San Juans. There was one day we were leaving from Wolf Creek Pass, and we got a really early start. We had just gotten back on trail. A friend dropped us off. We got on trail by like 6:30. It was like, okay, we can do a decent day. There was so much post-holing. We were going like a mile an hour. We did 8 miles by like 11:30, and then it started hailing. So we decided to just set up our tent right then, have an 8-mile day.
Favorite moment on the Continental Divide Trail in Colorado was going up Gray's Peak. That was just phenomenal. It's the highest I've ever been, and so it was just really special. And it was special because I had people there to share it with. For the low, I don't think it was one specific time, but the weather really did affect Colorado. It rained more in Colorado than on the Appalachian Trail. And I think it just, kind of affected a lot of the days, and we had to work around it. I mean, it was manageable, but I could have done without all the rain.
and we're getting hailed on. Waiting out a few minutes. So, closing out day 76. It was an interesting day. Our last full day in Colorado didn't go quite the way we expected. We wound up doing 18 miles, which, considering the day we had, honestly isn't too bad. Energizer took a little bit of a detour this morning, wound up doing 8 or so extra miles up to Three Island Lake, but made his way back to us with some paper maps. In the afternoon, we had to wait out some thunderstorms and some hail. Got pretty wet, but we made it to camp. So I guess Colorado wasn't ready for us to leave after all. So we'll see what tomorrow has in store. It'll be a great day. See you then.